Have you ever wondered why you still notice a lingering smell, no matter how often you bathe or try to stay clean? The truth is, 99% of people miss certain hidden spots on their body without even realizing it. And these forgotten areas are often the real reason why seniors find themselves quietly struggling with body odor despite their best efforts. In this video, we are going to explore 6 of these spots that most people overlook. You will see how giving these small areas just a little extra attention can make a world of difference in how fresh and confident you feel each day. Stay tuned until the end because understanding these hidden spots and how to care for them could not only change your daily routine, but also help you embrace your self-care with a new sense of pride and peace of mind. Now let's get started. Number 1, the nape of the neck. The nape of the neck is one of those spots that quietly contributes to odor. While escaping our daily attention, and for seniors, this hidden place often goes unnoticed until someone else points it out. The nape sits right where the back of your head meets your upper back, tucked beneath hairlines, collars, and sometimes scarves or hats. Because of this, it tends to trap sweat, oils, dead skin cells, and residue from hair products or clothing. The space does not get much fresh air, and when that moisture and buildup sit undisturbed, they create the perfect home for bacteria and even yeast to thrive. This is what leads to that musty, sour smell that lingers, no matter how carefully you wash the rest of your body. And the tricky part is, much like behind the ears, the nape often feels fine to the touch. There is no itchiness or obvious grime to tell you it needs care. But over time, the buildup quietly does its work. And those around you may notice the odor, even if you do not. Walter, who is 84, experienced this firsthand. A man who took great pride in staying active. Walter enjoyed his morning walks, his time in the garden, and visiting with neighbors on his front porch. He always bathed after his activities, changed into clean clothes, and kept himself neatly groomed. Yet he began to sense that during conversations, people seemed eager to step back or keep their distance. He could not figure out why. One day, after a gentle comment from his granddaughter following a hug, Walter realized that his nape had been overlooked in his daily care. Determined to make a change, he began taking a soft washcloth with warm, soapy water and gently scrubbing the nape of his neck each morning. He followed that by patting the area dry with a soft towel, making sure no moisture was left behind to invite bacteria back. The result was immediate. The odor that had puzzled him disappeared, and he felt a new sense of confidence as he visited with friends and neighbors. Caring for the nape of the neck does not require special products or complicated routines. It simply calls for a moment of attention each day. A soft cloth, warm water, mild soap, and a gentle hand are all it takes. And drying well afterward is just as important, as leaving damp skin behind invites the very problem you are trying to solve. Adding this small step into your daily habits helps ensure that you are not leaving behind a hidden source of odor that can chip away at your comfort or peace of mind. When you feel confident that every part of you is clean, it shows in the way you carry yourself, in the way you engage with others, and in the simple joy that comes from knowing you have done all you can to care for yourself fully. Number 2, behind the ears. Behind the ears is one of those places that most people simply don't think about when they're going through their daily hygiene routine, yet it plays a much larger role in causing unwanted odor than most would ever guess. This small, hidden spot sits quietly out of sight, and because of that, it's easy to overlook. But the reality is, behind the ears collects more than you might imagine each day. Sweat slowly builds up there, along with natural oils that our skin produces. If you use hair products like sprays, gels, or even medicated shampoos, the residue from these products often drifts down and settles behind the ears. Over time, this creates a film, a mix of oils, sweat, and residue that quietly clings to the skin. When that film is left in place, bacteria begin to thrive, feeding on those natural oils and sweat. And as the bacteria break down these substances, they produce the sour, musty odor that many seniors notice but can't quite identify. What makes this area especially tricky is that it usually doesn't feel dirty. You might run your fingers behind your ears and feel nothing at all. No stickiness, no grit, nothing that would tell you the spot needs attention. But that's the challenge. Because the buildup is often invisible and doesn't cause any discomfort, it goes unnoticed. And as we age, our sense of smell can fade a bit, so we may not notice the odor ourselves, even as others do. You might find that people seem to lean back just a little during conversations, or seem eager to keep a bit of distance, and you wonder why. The answer, surprisingly often, lies right behind the ears. Consider the story of Harold, who is 83. Harold was a man who took pride in his appearance. He dressed neatly each day, combed his hair carefully, and made sure to bathe regularly. Still, he began to sense that people weren't as comfortable as they once were when chatting with him. His granddaughter, during a visit, gently mentioned that she'd noticed a faint odor and suggested he try paying attention to behind his ears. Harold took her advice to heart. The next morning, he used a soft washcloth with warm, soapy water to gently clean behind each ear, taking care to rinse and pat the area dry afterward. The difference was immediate. That subtle odor was gone, and Harold felt a new sense of ease. When spending time with others, he realized that such a small change in his routine had brought him greater comfort and confidence than he'd felt in years. Cleaning behind the ears doesn't take much time at all. A simple swipe with a warm, soapy cloth, followed by drying with a soft towel, is all that's needed. And by making this small step part of your daily routine, you give yourself the gift of feeling fresh and confident every day. It's one of those little details that, once you start addressing it, makes you wonder how you ever overlooked it. And it's a simple act of self-care that shows respect for yourself and for those around you. Whether you're preparing for a visit with friends, a trip to the store, or just enjoying a quiet day at home, knowing you've taken care of even the smallest hidden spots helps you feel at your best. Behind the ears might not be a place that calls attention to itself, but it deserves that small moment of care each day, and the peace of mind that comes from knowing you've left no hidden source of odor behind is worth far more than the few seconds it takes. For seniors especially, when we want to feel our best in every interaction, giving attention to this tiny spot can make a world of difference. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 3, the folds under the breasts or chest. The folds under the breasts or chest are one of those hidden places on the body that are often overlooked during daily washing, and yet they can quietly become a major source of odor over time. Many seniors take great care with their hygiene, bathing regularly, wearing fresh clothes, and maintaining a neat appearance. But despite all that effort, there can still be a subtle, lingering smell that leaves them feeling self-conscious during social gatherings, family visits, or even in the comfort of their own home. The surprising cause in many cases is the warm, moist area beneath the breasts or chest that most people simply do not think about when washing up. This spot is easy to miss because it does not always feel dirty or damp to the touch. But beneath the surface, sweat collects throughout the day, mingling with natural skin oils, dead skin cells, and tiny bits of lint or dust that come from clothing and undergarments. These folds are naturally warm and shielded from air circulation, especially for those who wear layered clothing or supportive undergarments that add to the warmth of the area. As a result, the moisture that collects there doesn't have much chance to dry out on its own. That trapped moisture creates an ideal environment for bacteria and yeast to thrive. When those organisms feed on the sweat and oils that gather there, they produce byproducts that give off the familiar musty or sour smell that many seniors find so frustrating. The tricky part is that because the skin on the outside of these folds may feel dry or normal, people often don't realize what's happening beneath. It's only when the odor becomes noticeable to others, or when skin irritation develops, that the hidden problem comes to light. Let's take the example of Ellen, who is 81. Ellen had always taken great pride in her appearance. She bathed every morning, wore clean clothes, kept her hair brushed, and made sure her shoes were polished before heading out to meet friends or run errands. But despite her efforts, she sometimes noticed that people seemed to shift uncomfortably during conversations, or that friends seemed eager to open windows when visiting indoors. Ellen couldn't understand it. She knew she was careful about her hygiene. It wasn't until a routine doctor's visit that the mystery was solved. Her doctor gently mentioned that many seniors forget to clean and dry under the breasts or chest during their daily wash and suggested she add this small step to her routine. Ellen took the advice to heart. The very next day, she used a soft washcloth with warm, soapy water to clean the area thoroughly, then dried carefully with a soft towel. On warmer days, she found that a light dusting of non-medicated body powder helped keep the area dry longer. The change was remarkable. The odor disappeared, and Ellen felt a sense of relief and confidence that she hadn't felt in years. Addressing the folds under the breasts or chest doesn't take long, but it makes an enormous difference in how fresh you feel throughout the day. A gentle wash with mild soap and warm water, followed by a careful dry, helps remove the sweat, oils, and debris that feed bacteria. By removing what those bacteria thrive on, you prevent the odor from forming in the first place. And just as important as washing is drying, leaving even a little moisture behind invites the same problem right back. Some people find that placing a soft cotton cloth in the fold for a short time after drying helps absorb any remaining dampness. Others find comfort in using a small amount of powder that keeps the skin dry during the day. Whatever method works best, the key is making sure the area is clean and dry before you dress and go about your day. This small act of care is more than just about hygiene. It's about feeling confident, comfortable, and at ease in any situation. It's about knowing that you've taken the steps that help you feel your best, whether you're at home with family or out in the world with friends. When you take that extra moment to care for this hidden spot, you're showing respect for yourself and for those around you. And that respect shines through in the way you hold yourself, in the way you engage with others, and in the peace of mind you carry with you throughout the day. Seniors who take this small step often say they feel a renewed sense of control over their personal care, and that confidence is something that no one can put a price on. Number 4, the belly button. The belly button is one of those small hidden places on the body that few people think about during their daily hygiene routine. Yet it quietly plays a larger role in body odor than most realize. For seniors, this spot often goes unnoticed because it doesn't seem like it needs attention. It's just a small hollow, and unless it feels sore or irritated, we tend to assume it stays clean as we shower or bathe. But the truth is, the belly button collects more than you might expect. Each day, sweat trickles down into that little space. Natural skin oils find their way there too, along with dead skin cells that shed off unnoticed. Lint from clothing, tiny particles of dust, and residue from lotions or powders can all settle in as well. Because the belly button is recessed, it doesn't get much airflow, and moisture that gets trapped inside has a hard time drying out on its own. Over time, this hidden mix creates the perfect environment for bacteria and yeast to thrive. And that's what produces the sour or musty smell that can cling to you no matter how carefully you clean the rest of your body. What makes the belly button tricky is that the buildup is often invisible. You might glance at it and see nothing at all, or run a finger around the rim and feel no sign of trouble. But deep inside that small hollow, oils, sweat, and debris are quietly gathering. And because our sense of smell can fade slightly with age, we might not notice the odor ourselves, even as those around us do. You might find that people lean back a bit during conversations or seem to shift away slightly during a hug, and you're left wondering why. Often it's this small, forgotten spot that holds the answer. Take the story of George, who was 79. George always took great care with his appearance. He bathed each morning, wore clean, well-pressed clothes, combed his hair neatly, and kept his shoes shine. Yet despite his efforts, he noticed that his granddaughter sometimes wrinkled her nose when giving him a hug, or that friends seemed eager to move conversations outside where the breeze could blow. George couldn't understand it. It wasn't until his daughter, during a kind and gentle chat, suggested that he check his belly button during his daily wash that the mystery was solved. George added a simple step to his routine. Using a soft cloth with warm, soapy water, he gently cleaned his belly button each day, taking care to rinse it well and dry it thoroughly with a soft towel. The difference was immediate. The subtle odor that had puzzled him disappeared, and he felt a new sense of confidence and ease in social settings. Caring for the belly button takes just a few seconds each day, but it makes a world of difference. A gentle cleaning removes the sweat, oils, and debris that bacteria feed on, preventing odor before it starts. Drying the area afterward is just as important, because moisture left behind invites bacteria right back. Some people find that after cleaning and drying, a light touch of a cotton swab helps make sure no dampness remains. Others find that leaving the area to air out for a few moments before dressing helps too. Whatever method you choose, the key is making sure that this small hollow gets the attention it deserves. Adding this small step to your daily care routine is about more than just hygiene. It's about peace of mind. It's about knowing that you've done all you can to present your best self to the world, free from hidden sources of odor that can chip away at your comfort and confidence. For seniors, when we want to engage fully with the people and activities that bring us joy, small details like this matter. They help us move through life with pride, knowing that we've taken good, thoughtful care of ourselves. And that sense of well-being is something that others can see and feel in every interaction. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 5, between the toes. Between the toes is a spot that many people believe stays clean simply because they wash their feet during a bath or shower. But in reality, this hidden area quietly collects more than most realize. The space between the toes is warm and often stays damp, especially for seniors who wear socks, slippers, or shoes for long hours during the day. As you walk and move about, sweat naturally gathers there. Add to that the tiny bits of lint from socks, dead skin that sheds as part of the body's natural process, and even dust, or small particles that work their way into your shoes. This mix settles between the toes and creates the perfect environment for bacteria and fungus to thrive. Over time, this can produce a sharp, sour, or even cheesy smell that clings to your feet no matter how fresh the rest of you feels. What makes this spot easy to overlook is that it doesn't always feel damp or dirty. You might think that simply rinsing your feet or scrubbing the soles is enough, not realizing that the space between the toes needs special attention of its own. Let me share the story of Henry, who is 80. Henry was someone who prided himself on neatness. Every morning he bathed, put on clean socks, and made sure his shoes were in good condition. Still, he noticed that when he visited his daughter's home and removed his shoes, there was a smell that seemed to follow him, and he could see the discomfort on his family's faces. Henry couldn't figure it out. It wasn't until his granddaughter mentioned gently that it might be coming from between his toes that he realized he had been missing that spot during his wash. Determined to make a change, Henry began taking a little extra time each day to separate his toes and gently wash between them with warm soapy water. He followed this by drying carefully, making sure no moisture was left behind. On days when he was especially active, he would also change into fresh socks to keep his feet dry. The difference was clear. The odor that had puzzled him disappeared, and Henry felt comfortable once again visiting with family and enjoying time at home without worry. Caring for the space between the toes does not take much time, but the results are lasting. A soft cloth, or even your fingers, with warm soapy water, followed by a gentle dry using a towel is all it takes. The key is to make sure the area is dry, because moisture left behind invites bacteria and fungus to grow again. Some people find that after drying, allowing the feet to air out for a few moments before putting on socks or shoes helps even more. Others find comfort in socks made of materials that draw moisture away from the skin. These small steps help ensure that this hidden area does not become a quiet source of odor or discomfort in your daily life. Taking the time to care for between your toes is another simple way to show respect for yourself and to move through the day with confidence and ease. Number 6, the inner thighs. The inner thighs are one of those areas that often go unnoticed during daily washing, yet they can quietly become a major source of odor, especially for seniors. This part of the body naturally experiences friction as you move about your day. Whether you are walking, gardening, shopping, or even just moving around the house. As the skin rubs together, sweat builds up along with natural oils and dead skin cells that shed as part of the body's normal process. Tiny bits of lint from clothing can collect there too. Because this area is tucked away and often covered by layers of clothing, it does not get much fresh air and moisture tends to stay trapped. That warm, damp environment creates the perfect setting for bacteria and yeast to thrive. And over time, this leads to the sour or musty odor that can leave seniors feeling unsure of themselves, even after bathing. What makes this spot especially easy to overlook is that the buildup often doesn't cause discomfort right away. You might not feel sticky or irritated, but the odor develops quietly just the same. Think of Charles, who is 78. Charles had always been careful about his hygiene. He bathed every morning, wore fresh clothes, and kept up his neat appearance. But he noticed that when sitting close to others at social gatherings or riding in the car with friends, people seemed to shift slightly away or open windows more often. Charles couldn't figure out what was wrong. It wasn't until a kind friend gently suggested that he pay attention to the inner thighs that he realized he had been missing this important spot during his daily wash. From that day on, Charles made it a point to gently clean between his thighs with warm, soapy water, taking care to rinse and dry thoroughly. On warmer days or when he knew he would be active, he used a light dusting of non-medicated powder to help keep the area dry. The change was remarkable. The subtle odor disappeared, and Charles felt a new sense of ease and confidence during his daily activities. Giving attention to the inner thighs takes only a small effort each day, but it brings lasting comfort and peace of mind. A gentle wash followed by careful drying helps prevent odor before it starts. Drying is especially important because moisture left behind invites the very bacteria and yeast that cause the problem. Some seniors find that wearing clothing made from breathable fabrics helps keep the area cool and dry throughout the day. Others find that taking a moment to change into fresh clothing or undergarments after physical activity makes a big difference. However you choose to care for this spot, the key is consistency. By making this small act of care part of your daily routine, you help ensure that you feel fresh, confident, and ready to enjoy your day to the fullest. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Final thoughts. As we come to the close of this video, I hope you've taken a moment to reflect on the 6 often forgotten spots we've discussed today. These small areas, the ones that are so easy to miss during our daily routine, can quietly make a big difference in how fresh and confident we feel each day. Behind the ears, the nape of the neck, the folds under the breasts or chest, the belly button, between the toes and the inner thighs, each of these places plays its part in our overall hygiene and well-being. And the truth is, most of us have overlooked them at one time or another. That's nothing to feel embarrassed about. The important thing is that now you know, and with that knowledge comes the power to make simple changes that can have a lasting impact on your comfort, your confidence, and the way you engage with the world around you. When we take the time to care for these hidden spots, we are doing more than just preventing odor. We are showing ourselves the respect and attention we deserve. Personal care is about more than looking good to others. It's about feeling good within ourselves. It's about stepping out into each day with the peace of mind that comes from knowing we've done all we can to care for ourselves in a thoughtful, complete way. And that sense of peace and pride shows in everything we do, in our posture, in the warmth of our smile, in the ease with which we greet our friends, neighbors, and loved ones. When you feel fresh and comfortable, you carry yourself with greater confidence, and that confidence is something that people around you can sense. It's also important to remember that these small steps don't require fancy products or complicated routines. They don't demand extra time or great effort. They simply call for a moment of awareness and care, pausing to give attention to those hidden spots that we so often overlook. And the reward for that small effort is great: the ability to go about your day without worry, to enjoy your activities without distraction, and to engage with others without that little voice in the back of your mind wondering if everything is as it should be. Many seniors find that making these small changes brings a sense of renewal. It's not just about eliminating odor, it's about reclaiming a sense of control over personal care and well-being. It's about embracing each day with confidence, knowing that you've taken thoughtful steps to care for your body in a way that supports your health and your dignity. These small acts of care are a gift you give to yourself, and they ripple outward, helping to create positive connections with the people in your life. When you feel good about yourself, that feeling shines through in your interactions with others, building stronger relationships and creating moments of joy and comfort. I encourage you to take these insights and make them part of your daily routine. Start with just one small change and let it grow from there. You'll find that as these habits take root, they become second nature, and the benefits they bring will stay with you day after day. I also invite you to share what you've learned today. Your thoughts and experiences matter, and when you share them, you help create a community of support and encouragement for others who are on the same journey. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.